Hello everybody, and welcome back to Occult Perspectives. So we are going to continue where we left off from the last video in the Majora's Mask series. So this video is part 2. I am currently compiling some information to do a video on the Archangel Raziel. Our son was just born on April 27th, and his name is Raziel. So I wanted to do a pretty lengthy video on that subject. But for now, just wanted to have fun with another video game video. So here it is, Majora's Mask Part 2. We are going to pick back up where we left off at. Right when Link is about to meet the Happy Masked Salesman once again. Turn that down a little bit. And I've been continuing to watch Zelda lore videos, learning more about the mask, Majora's Mask itself, learn about the fierce deity, been learning about the Garo. Were you able to recover your precious item from that imp? The Happy Mask Salesman asks. Oh, you got it, you got it. Then listen to me play this song that I am about to perform and remember it well. This is the Song of Healing. The Song of Healing plays a very prevalent role in this game as a whole theme, because souls are essentially healed, and either they've already died or they're about to die, as is the case with the Zora guy, Mikau, or something like that. But eventually their souls get healed, and then the spirit of those people or those races go into the masks, and then you're able to wear the masks and transform. So this is where Link he's waving goodbye to the curse within the mask. Well, his curse, which the curse is then transformed into the mask, the Deku Scrub mask, which is actually the soul, it holds the soul of the butler's son, which is the husk of the Deku Scrub that you see in the beginning. There, the Happy Mask Salesman says, "This is a melody that heals evil magic and troubled spirits, turning them into masks. I am sure it will be of assistance to you in the future. Ah yes, I give you this mask in commemoration of this day. Fear not, for the magic has been sealed inside the mask. When you wear it, you will transform into the shape you just were. When you remove it, you will return to normal." So it's kind of like a talisman that transforms you, the user. Alteration magic, as it would be considered in, if this were Skyrim. Wear the mask to inhabit the body of a Deku Scrub. Now I have fulfilled my promise to you, so please give me that which you promised me. And of course, he wants Majora's Mask, but you haven't been able to retrieve Majora's Mask yet, because you have to keep going in time, and he gets all angry here. Don't tell me my mask. It's still out there, because he knows how dangerous the mask is. Something else that's interesting about Majora's Mask itself is that it's self-conscious. The mask is an entity in and of itself. He's saying, what have you done to me? If you leave the mask out there, something terrible will happen. And here's where we get a little bit of lore. The mask that was stolen from me, it is called Majora's Mask. It is an accursed item from legend that is said to have been used by an ancient tribe in its hexing rituals. One of the Zelda theories on YouTube is that the tribe that was using this mask was the Garo tribe. You can look up that guy. If you type in Fierce Deity or Majora's Mask lore, it should be one of the first ones that pops up. I can't remember what his YouTube channel is called, but the video is really cool. It talks about how the Garo had a hold on the Majora's Mask. Was using the mask for their own purposes, but then the mask turned on them because it has a consciousness of its own. The spirit of Majora resides within the mask, and then they weren't able to use it. They tried to seal it away because they knew how evil the magic was. Here it says, "It is said that an evil and wicked power is bestowed upon the one who wears that mask. According to legend, the troubles caused by Majora's Mask were so great The Ancient Ones, fearing such catastrophe, sealed the mask in shadow forever, preventing its misuse. But now that tribe from the legend has vanished, so no one really knows the true nature of the mask's power. The same guy that did the theory on the video I was just telling you about talks about also how the Skull Kid is not really the one to blame for everything, because when the Skull Kid wears Majora's mask, it's actually the spirit of Majora controlling the Skull Kid. And there's the lady or the guy, I don't know if it's an old man or an old lady, that sits by the fire. There's some lore you can look up on that as well. It tells you, I don't think that's a part of the cutscene, so we won't really be getting into that, but there's plenty of videos that talk about it. There's a little legend that's told about the Skull Kid, but what the guy, his Zelda theory is that it's not talking about the Skull Kid per se, it's talking about the original Majora himself. That Majora was friends with the four giants, and then the four giants were mad at him because he had done some evil stuff, and they basically banished him, which made him upset, and he had all this trauma from that, and that is really what manifested the evil of Majora. He wanted to take his wrath out on all of Termina. So that's just more interesting lore to add into all of this that's going on. He says, but I feel it. He's very aware of the energy that's within the mask. He went to great lengths to get that legendary mask, and when I finally had it, I could sense the doom of a dark omen brewing. It was that unwelcoming feeling that makes your hair stand on end. And now that imp has it. So the Skull Kid's more just this, he's more of just another, he's another character that wasn't the original Skull Kid that was talked about in the legends. He's just a more recent, basically host that the mask is able to take over. He's really able to easily take over the Skull Kid because the Skull Kid, as we talked about in the videos previous, he's already upset and stuff, so it just probably adds to the mask's power, and the mask is more easily able to manipulate him. It's kind of that whole Sith kind of thing, where if you can't control the chaos, if you can't control the darkness, it will control you. You must be a master. I am begging you, you must get that mask back quickly or something horrible will happen. I'm begging you, you must do it. He's kind of a creepy dude. Really? You'll do it for me? I was certain you would tell me that. And of course we hardly ever see Link's actual dialogue. Surely you'll be fine, you can do it. Believe in your strengths, believe. Here's the cutscene where Link returns the Ferry to the Ferry Fountain in Clock Town. And I think he gets increased magic from this. This was the Great Fairy of Magic, I think. Let's see. Yep, Great Fairy of Magic. Scattered throughout the four... Oh, she talks about the four giants here. Rewind this just a hair. Oh yeah, she offers you the fairy's mask. That's what you get. And the fairy mask comes in handy because that allows you in the temples, when you're searching for the stray fairies, they will be attracted to you. Tattle and the kind young one. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. Let me ease your weariness. And then after this, I'll go ahead and read the four giants part again. I missed it just a second ago. Oh, kind young one, scattered throughout the four temples of this land are broken stray fairies like me. Please find a way to save them and return them to their former strength. And she grants you the mask here. Okay, so I guess she didn't really mention the four giants. I'm trying to roll through this and see if there's anything else crucial we need to watch here. This is just some of the stuff going on in the mayor's office. This is the N60, and see, there's a picture of the moon depicted behind his chair right there, and the moon actually has a smiley face. And there's another interesting Zelda theory that the moon never had an angry face, and the moon is not really wanting to crash into the world. It's just taken over by the power of Majora, hence why the moon cries the moon's tear. It's actually sad about what's happening to it. There's an interesting lore video on that as well. And yep, they're just going back and forth here about the upcoming carnival. Nothing really esoteric going on here, per se. Just some town politics before the end of the world, you know, makes its way. Okay, what is this? Okay, I did choose to... I said I was going to switch between using the N64 version and the 3DS version to do the cutscenes, but I think I'm just going to use the N64 video for the cutscenes because it has more of the little cutscenes. For some reason, just some of the dialogue, even with the Happy Mask Salesman, when you bring back your ocarina, it was missing some of that. It went straight to when he's playing the Song of Healing. So this is a more extensive one. Thank you for teaching us those steps. This is when you use the "You are our master." This is when he uses the mask that gives you the ability to dance really well. Master, you are so cool. Link is pretty cool. Okay, this is when you're about to go to the swamp and you come across this drawing. And then Tattle has all of these little flashbacks, enjoying their time with the Skull Kid. It kind of shows you, you know, it makes you feel sorry for the Skull Kid because he's alone. I hope you guys can see that all right. He's kind of alone out in the dark, and the fairies are able to come and help him feel better and stuff. He's out there all alone in the ring. And then they proceed to play, you know, they have fun. So it's just showing you another side to the Skull Kid. I'll go ahead and play this little video real quick. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, there they are, all snuggled up together. There they are playing, getting along, and then, of course, there comes the point where the Skull Kid takes Majora's Mask from the Mask Salesman. Things start to get darker, the music intensifies here in just a second. I'm sure it was because he was always playing tricks, so nobody wanted to play with him. But to do what he did just because of that. Digging through his bag, took out Majora's Mask. And once he got his power, I don't know if there's any unnecessary cutscenes right here. This is where you go and capture the monkey, which of course, as soon as the king's daughter's gone, he just assumes that the monkey is the one that was responsible. I'm not going to get into all that. There's not too much esoteric stuff going on right here. You learn the Sonata of Awakening, I think it's called, so you can raise the temple up out of the sea. Notes are carved in the stone. I think this is where you learn the Song of Soaring. Yep, and that's what you use to teleport throughout the land of Termina. I don't think there's too much to see here. This is Woodfall Temple itself. And then this is the boss. So it's the same with these bosses. The four giants, their spirits are sealed within the masks of the four bosses. So you have to free the spirit of the giant that resides within this mask. After you beat him, there's the end of the battle. taking place right there. Turned up the brightness a little bit. Hopefully you can see that better. Sorry I'm so itchy today, guys, too. I was mowing my lawn the other day, and I took my shirt off because it was so hot, but I forgot to put sunscreen on, and gosh, I'm really paying for it today. All right, so this is the part where you actually see the giant that you just freed from the mass. Link's kind of standing in this celestial, on this pedestal. You can't even really see it on the phone. I can't see it anyway. But Link's just standing on this pillar. Here comes the giant out from behind the fountain of, I'm assuming, water. It seems like they're up in the clouds or in the sky. There he sings his song. This is where you learn the song Oath to Order, and I think there's a lot of symbolical significance within just that title. Wait, listen, it seems to be saying something. Could that crying be its way of teaching us some sort of melody? Don't just stand there, get your instrument. This is where you learn the song. I know you guys can't really see this cutscene that well, but I'm just kind of waiting because I thought there was some interesting dialogue that comes up here before Link goes back to you learn the Oath to Order. Call us. That's what it's saying. And as we've discussed before, these four giants are kind of analogous to the four archangels or the four watchers. There's different versions of that, even in Madame Blavatsky's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. They talk about different buildings and entities which reside at the four quarters. In the celestial hierarchy, the four animals of Ezekiel's vision, it would correspond to that as well. The temple rises back up. This is when you help the princess escape. You take her back to back to her father in a bottle, nonetheless, which is interesting. Yeah, skip this. This is oh, strong young one. It's the Great Ferry of Power. This is when you gather all the fairies in the forest one, I believe. The forest temple that you were just in, or the swamp temple. She increases your magical power. Either that or she gives you the sword technique. I can't remember which one. Oh, the spin attack. This might actually be the Snowhead fairy. Yeah, I might have them out of order. I'm not sure. Now, it should be the swamp one if it's still with these cutscenes. This is when the monkey gets freed, of course, because he's innocent. Alright, let's see, we're at almost 20 minutes. I'll go ahead and wrap this video up here soon. We meet again, Fairy Child. Have my stone statues been of help? This is Kapora Gabora, as we've talked about in the Ocarina of Time videos. He's the spirit of Rauru, actually. One of the sages resides within this owl. That's one of his forms. We talked about the symbolism of the owl itself in the Ocarina of Time videos as well, which, if you haven't watched my series, I recommend you go back and check it out. I'm talking a little bit about Moloch and the wisdom of the owl symbolism. We're not going to get into all that now. I'm just going to continue with this last little cutscene because I think he says some cool stuff here, if I remember right. It seems you may have the strength to change the fate of this land as I had expected, but the road ahead is even more challenging. Many trials await you. Please watch over these Gorons around you. Their land is doomed to be smothered in snow and ice forever. It will become a land where no living thing can survive. So, and that's even highlighted in red right there, so they're putting some significance into that. Without courage and determination, you surely will collapse from the extreme conditions. But if that courage and determination burns bright within you, then that's another story. I think that's what he said. But if that courage and determination, then that's another story. Yep. So will you proceed? You are a child of many strengths. Well, perhaps you do have enough strength to change the fate of this mountain after all. I shall take you to the air now, flying towards that shrine across the way, so follow behind me. Do not be daunted by appearances. Instead, let your feelings guide you, and the true path shall open before you. This is when you get the lens of truth, which we, of course, know is symbolized by the all-seeing eye, and you hop across what seems to be invisible space. It looks like you're just going to fall, but a little feather is left from the owl on each block, so you know to jump across. And kind of this reminds me of the whole like Yoda teaching Yoda teaching Luke is kind of the same as the owl teaching Link right here. You know, do not be daunted by appearances. Instead, let your feelings guide you. It's much like using the Force, and the true path shall open before you. Are you ready? Follow behind me. And then the owl takes to the air. And then I'm not sure what the next cutscene will show. Oh, this is when Link heals the sorrows of Darmani. What a soothing melody. My sorrows are melting away into the song. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Hopefully soon I will do go ahead and do Majora's Mask Part 3. And I'll also get into the Raziel video once I have enough information on that. And I would also like to do another video talking more in depth about invoking and banishing. When to do both, what's the differences, what are different methods you can use while you're doing your practices. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet and you like what I do on here, please subscribe. Please give this video a like if you liked it. And check out what other videos I have. But for now, peace and blessings, everybody, and take care.